Celia here, and I hope you're not tired of my dictation stuff, because I got another one for you today. And the one that we're going to talk about today is the one that kind of got me back into dictations, because I used to be a big hater. But then I observed the lesson and I saw somebody do it, and I was like, this might actually make sense. So I'm sure some of you know it and some of you have done it, but I think it deserves its own video, and it deserves to be here, and it deserves to be known. So let's go. Let's see what this one is and how it works. So it's running dictations that we're speaking about today, and one of my personal favorites, and I think it deserves the recognition. So let's see what it's all about. So the procedure is very straightforward. There are two things you need to do before the actual lesson starts. So step number one, obviously, you need to prepare the text and then print one copy of the text for each group of 3 students that you have in your class. And then, again, before the lesson starts, you're just going to place the text around the classroom, but they shouldn't be able to read the text. So you can either turn it and make it face the wall, or you can cover it with another sheet so that they'll have to lift the top one to be able to see what's underneath it. And then when the lesson actually starts, you're going to group the students and choose one runner and show them where their text is. Now, they can't just go and read whatever text, even though they're all the same. It's just to manage the activity and to make sure that nobody's in their way, and they don't need to be pushing each other. So each group should have a text of their own that nobody else is going to be around when the running starts. Once the runners know who they are and where their text is, they're going to run or go to their paper, read the text, come back to their team and dictate the text. They can go back and forth as many times as they need to, but there are some ground rules that you need to establish, and you need to make sure that they all know that they can't be doing the following. So they can't just grab the text and go to their team and just show it to them or dictate it to them as they're standing right in front of them. They can't take pictures with their phone and then show it to their team, and they can't shout as they're standing next to the text. So they need to go, read, try to remember as much as they can, go back, dictate whatever they've got to their group, and then run back, and then that's how the activity goes. They will be going and double checking every single word, maybe. Sometimes it's the spelling, sometimes they forget a little detail, and then they have to go back and check, but that's how the activity works. So that's what it is. And then once their group is ready, that's when the runners bring the text to the table, and they can all check and correct any spelling mistakes, see if they missed anything, and just make sure that whatever they have is what you had in the original text. Right. Now, here's a little example of what I did with my young learners about 3 years ago, maybe. Just a little text about my cat. And the runners could see the whole thing with the picture and the text, but then the people writing only had the picture. So then they had to complete the whole thing with the text. Before the activity, before the dictation itself, I showed them the picture, and we did a little bit of predicting. Now, they obviously knew the cat because there are many lessons built around this cat. And we did a little bit of guessing, right? So they knew the name. They knew that she was called Coco. But they had to try and guess what food was her favorite, what activities she liked doing, what her personality was like, that kind of thing. So that when they were doing the activity, when they were listening to the dictation, they were engaged and there was a little bit of motivation. So they had to find out whether they were right with their predictions or not. So there is that. And then ways to adjust this activity. So first of all, if you've got a smaller group, they can either work in pairs, or if your group is just 3 learners, which is an awkward number, but they could be like a single team. You can give them a time to beat. So you'd be like, can you guys do it in under 10 minutes? And then see if they can. And then based on that, you can offer some nice reflection, being like, oh, so why couldn't you do it? What do you find challenging? What made you spend more time on this, and then kind of reflect and think how you could tackle that together as a little brainstorm. If students get distracted, you can change the runner every couple of sentences, especially with kids, or you can do it after a certain amount of time. So you can be like, okay, runner number 1, you've got 2 minutes, go dictate as much as you can. When you hear the signal, you need to sit down. Runner number 2, your turn now. And then they just take over. It could be nice to keep the pace going and make sure that everyone's listening and everyone is doing the thing. For your mixed ability groups, think about your pairings and think about who the runner is and who is going to end up writing. Because if somebody is a slow writer, you don't want to demotivate the person by, showing them that, oh, well, look, you write slower than everybody else in this class. So just being mindful of that. Obviously, trying to make all groups more or less equal. So if you've got a stronger student in one group, make sure that another group also has somebody stronger, and maybe making those runners that would make sense, because they could offer some peer teaching to those who struggle a little bit more. And then for early finishers, which is you will most probably have, just make sure that there is a little extra activity prepped, and you don't need to have another handout for them or anything like that. Just think what you can make them do based on the text. With my cat text, I think they had to brainstorm more things that they think my cat likes. So in the text, they had her favorite food was chocolate cake. What else do you think my cat likes? She likes playing. What else do you think she likes? And then in feedback, we just checked if they were right or not. And then they got some extra points based on that. So there is an idea, right? Now, why I think it's a great activity, I got a whole list of reasons. So the first one, helps maintain your classroom dynamics. And now, well, with kids, you do need to get them moving and have all those games and competitions, because otherwise it's just going to be chaos. We very often forget to do it with adults, but this offers a nice chance for you to change that a little bit and add a little bit of movement, while also making them do a serious activity kind of thing. Also promotes teamwork and peer teaching, because if they misunderstand something or if they need to clarify something, they're going to ask the runner, right? Or they're going to ask the person who's writing the same text, which is a nice chance for them to start relying a little bit more on each other and not on you as a teacher. And that's the way to get your learner autonomy going. And that's what we want. Easy to monitor, because again, you're not actively engaged in the activity. You're just there kind of facilitating, making sure that nobody breaks the rules. And then at the same time, you're taking note of how they do in terms of language. So what about their pronunciation? What about their listening comprehension? Do they struggle with spelling? All those little things. And then it can be extended. And I'm not just speaking about fast finishers, but then you can have a whole another stage based on this. So after I did my cat thing, they had to tell me about their own pets and draw a little picture. And that was a hit. They loved the activity and they loved the lesson. Because again, it was personalized. Choosing a topic that your students find engaging and where they have something to say about it, even if it's the younger ones. Like my students were 7-8-year-olds, yet they still produced a text about their cats and dogs and lizards and spiders and all that. So as long as it's relevant, they will have things to say, and it's nice because it's them manipulating the language, and then you'll give them more substantial feedback based on that. And that's it. That's what a running dictation is. Super simple to prep. It could be extended in a million different ways, again with low prep. You don't need to have a million gazillion other handouts to make this lesson happen. Very simple, very straightforward. I'm sure some of you have done it before, so let me know how it went. Let me know if you do it often or if you don't really like it, and then why. In each case, why? Is that your attitude? Yes, thank you for watching this one. Thanks for sticking around. And yep, see you soon. Bye.